welcome home, Chelsea head coach. How does that sound?
It sounds good. Surreal to a degree because obviously my playing career here, I don't even think I need to state how much it meant to me to play 13 years at this place, home for a long time, in a great era where I was fortunate enough to be involved in success at the club. So those are all my playing memories, and now this is a new chapter, and I'm really looking forward to it. You know, as I say, everyone knows how I feel about the club. My absolute desire now is to be here and work hard. I think I did that as a player, tried to get the most out of myself on the pitch, and that's my intention to do as a manager.
You mentioned that special connection you have with the club and vice versa. So how are the emotions at the moment?
Well, they're big. They're big in a good sense because you know when you feel a club, and I think everyone knew that. A lot of players in my era, we were the same, and that was the kind of thing that I think fans relate to when you have players who really feel and care for the club. I was fortunate enough to play alongside some great ones, and we know that. So I still have that feeling, even on this side, and that's what I want to see in my players, in my team, because I think those are the things that the fans want to see.
Obviously a terrific first year in management with Derby. How's that helped you to prepare for this step?
Well, it was a good first year, and we didn't quite get where we wanted to be with the playoff final. But from where we started, we did a lot of changing of the team, bringing the age down, a lot of young players, changing the style to a big degree. And I suppose the fact that we made great strides in one season was what I'm most proud of, not just myself, but the staff and the players at Derby. So I learned a lot, and I think as a manager you continue to learn, whether it's your first year, second year, 20th year. So yeah, hopefully it puts me in good stead. I'm ready to keep learning. That's how I played year in, year out until the end of my career, so that's how I manage.
So with that in mind, how would you describe yourself as a manager?
I don't like that question because it's one that I want you to ask the players. You know, I asked the Derby players from last year, I asked the Chelsea players this year. I want to work and be close to my players. I still feel, like we all do, we still feel young. I still feel like a player in a way, in terms of I feel like I know what they want and what they need. I always appreciated managers that gave me that. Well, I had a relationship on a level off the pitch, if you know what I mean, made you feel good, tried to get the best out of you, drove you in training every day, supported you as a player. But also I like to set standards. I think I want the team to work hard. I found at Derby last year that was something that I was really pleased with us as a group, is that the training translated onto the pitch, and that's my job. So that's what I'll try and show here, and if I can see a team that works hard, that has high energy, that really has passion, and of course the talent that I know is in this squad already, then I'll be very happy. You
alluded to the fact just then that you worked under so many top managers throughout your playing career. Did you find yourself taking elements from their roles into what you're doing now?
Yeah, I did that, and I think that's normal. And throughout my 20s, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but you're always listening and learning from managers, some great managers, as you say. And then probably from my 30s onwards, I started thinking more, taking it in, trying to keep in some of the knowledge for the future. And I suppose what I don't want to be is a clone of any one manager. I don't want to be that. I think it's false if you do that. So I've tried to take on board all the information, good, bad, whatever I felt in my career, and be myself. And I think I did that last year as a manager, and I really enjoyed the year that I had on this side of the fence, and yeah, determined to keep going.
As you mentioned earlier, you helped to set some really high standards here as a player. How does that affect expectations now?
I think expectations at Chelsea will always remain from the outside because of what the club's done in the last 15 years or whatever in the Roman Abramovich era, for sure. And I like that. I enjoyed that as a player. I enjoyed the pressure of expectation, and it changes. You know, there are different circumstances. We had years where we had great success, some years where we didn't have so much, but the standards have to keep rising year after year. And that's not just on the pitch stuff, that's daily, that's players, that's staff, that's everybody at the training ground, that's everybody around the place. And yeah, I'll try and push that. I think when you are in charge, you have to push it. People go off you and your standard, and if I can try and show that and what I want and get that message across clearly, then hopefully we'll do well.
And how important do you think it is that you've got a group of experienced players, some of which of course you know from your playing career?
Yeah, I mean I'll certainly use that, because I think experience is you can't talk it down. It's great to have players that have been there. I played with some of them, as you say. I know that they're great characters. They have a real desire and passion for the club, and they also have a responsibility to help the younger players. So that's why I think I'm very excited to come into a team that, for me, has a really nice balance of the experience and of the younger players. Some that have made their start into the team already, some that will be looking to make their start in the team going forward. So if we can keep that balance, responsibility for the older players to help them, and the younger players' responsibility to show that they've got what it takes to try and get in the first team.
On that subject, how excited are you about that current crop of youngsters that we've seen coming through at the moment?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited because playing here for so many years, seeing the work put into the academy and seeing the work on all fronts, from the top, the investment into the academy and the want and the desire to see it succeed. On the ground, the coaching staff, the people working in the academy, trying to work as hard as they can to bring players through into the first team. And then the players themselves, I've seen them. I'm fortunate enough to work with Mason Mount and Tamori last year, and their attitude stood out well. You know, the fact that they've come through the academy here, you could see it in how they held themselves, how they train, their manners off the pitch. So that's what I want to see. I want to work with those players. I want to dangle the carrot. You know, can you work hard? Can you compete? Can you get in the team?
With that in mind then, just how important is that relationship between the first team and the academy?
Yeah, it's important. It's important. I think it's something that I will work hard to make sure the communication is there day in, day out. I'm lucky because the staff I have with me will help me with that. But myself, I will always have my eye on the academy. Always. I think it's important. I was that young player a very long time ago, and the one thing you want is the feeling that you can get into the first team, the feeling that road that divides the academy to main building is a road that you can cross. Do you know what I mean? That has to be there for you, and I think that does come from the top. So I have to show that, and if young players are performing and they deserve it on merit, then they'll be coming and training with us. But there's a lot of hard work for them to do. I don't want to look like it's an easy road. It's very tough, but we can try and help them.
And of course you've got Petr Cech back with you as well. How important will that relationship be?
Yeah, I'm delighted to have Petr here. I think it's fantastic for the club. I think he's an icon, a legend of the club, a very smart man. We all know that, and that was very obvious in my playing days in the dressing room, that he had the intelligence, the languages, the desire to learn from people around him and speak to people and bring people together. Very smart in terms of he'll want to take the club forward in the right way, and because of our relationship, I hope it's something that can work very well together. Yeah, I'm delighted to work with Petr, and I know we've had conversations already. I know that we have an idea, many ideas, how we can keep the club moving forward.
So what do you think that Chelsea fans can expect from Frank Lampard's Chelsea?
Well, you know, I touch on it, and it's very easy to throw out words. You know, when you talk to coaches now, everyone wants to have energy, everyone wants to work hard, all these things. But I think for me, I can't wait to get working and see the team on the training ground. And as I mentioned before, is see the translation of the work you do on the training ground come onto the pitch. Because as a fan, and I've remained a Chelsea fan, I've been coming to watch games, watching on TV. When you see a team play with passion, with aggression, with speed in their game, trying to entertain the fans and play good football, I want them to move the ball quickly. Things that we'll work on day in, day out, I want to see that on the pitch, because that's what I want to see. So I'll push hard for that.
And finally then, what would you say to those supporters who'll be very excited watching this right now?
Well, I'm delighted to be here. I'm not sure, I think my smile probably tells them that anyway. It's obviously the club that's been in my heart for a long time, and I know I've never forgotten that and never will. But once we go beyond the emotion, which I'm very keen to go beyond very quickly because I want to work. So what they can hopefully expect from me is a manager that's a young manager that's going to give everything, every hour that I can in a day, to work hard to bring a team that the fans can be proud of, because this is a competitive club. It always has been in the modern era, and I want to remain competitive. I want to try and help with the younger players, try and get them into the squad and see players, because I know fans really relate to players that come through the academy and feel the club, and I'll work hard to try and bring success to the club.
We wish you luck.
Thank you.
If you really like the video, make sure you subscribe to Chelsea YouTube channel and turn on your notification.